Hi, I'm Michele Walker. I'm a physical therapist and I own Proactive Therapy and Wellness. I help people with Parkinson's and other senior mobility issues to improve their movement and regain their confidence so that they can remain active and independent as long as possible. In this podcast, I'll be interviewing people in the community as well as clients themselves for their take on how they get empowered. Now, let's get on to the show. On today's show, I'm going to be speaking with Betsy Lerner. She wears many hats and is very active in the Parkinson's community. She's not only a personal trainer, she's also a Parkinson's fitness specialist. She's a rock steady boxing coach, and she serves on the board of Hamil-Kerr Challenge, just to name a few. Today, she's going to share all the ways that she's contributing to the Parkinson's community, including in-person and Zoom classes and support groups that she helps with. Enjoy the show.
Hello, Betsy. I'm so glad
Hey,
you could
Michele.
join me today. Yay! Got you on camera. So, I really just want you to start off just telling our audience about what you do, because I know you do so many different things.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about my background. I am an ISSA I have an ISSA personal training certification. I have a Cooper Institute physical fitness specialist certification. I have a cycles certification. I have a rock steady boxing certification. I have a Parkinson's fitness specialist certification. I have a Parkinson's cycle certification and a couple masters that have nothing to do with what I do for a living.
Wow.
Yes.
And what are those in?
English and African American Lit.
Right.
So
Oh,
they
my
have
goodness.
nothing to do with what I do for a living.
So what got you into physical fitness and Parkinson's and all that?
Well, I've always been in the fitness industry, even when I worked in corporate America. I've been teaching spinning, cycling since 2003, and weight and fitness training since about 2005. But one day, my cousin, who was recently diagnosed, this was years ago, was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And within 48 hours, she was at a rock steady boxing in Portland, Oregon with Kimberly Berg. Kimberly has several affiliates. She has about 300 fighters. And whenever my cousin would travel, before she would go to that destination, she would always find a rock steady boxing. So she was coming to Greensboro and found the rock steady boxing in Greensboro. And this was back in 2018, probably February of 2018. I went with her, and the rest is history.
Loved it.
Rest is history. The next day, I signed up to take a rock steady boxing certification class to become a coach. So by that March, it was 5 years ago, I became a rock steady boxing coach. And that was the beginning of my journey, which has changed quite a bit over the years.
And how so?
Well, I was teaching in person, and then the world shut down.
Yeah.
And I couldn't let my Parkinson's people go down the tube. So without anyone knowing, I started delivering Zoom classes, and I wasn't charging or anything. This was back in April of 2020. So a month after the world shut down, I started teaching these rock steady boxing classes for people literally around the country. And then somehow Hamil-Kerr heard about me. Hamil-Kerr is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to raise funds and turn around and give those funds to people with Parkinson's so they can take advantage of various Parkinson's resources. So when they found out I was doing this, they started to support me financially. So I have not missed a Saturday with these Zoom people. We have gone all over the place teaching Zoom classes. Then I started teaching a strength training class
Mhm.
Then I started teaching a Zoom Parkinson's cycling class. And now I also go to independent living facilities. That's where you met Henry. And I teach Parkinson's fitness there and strength training. And I also go into people's homes who have Parkinson's and do one-on-one training.
So you're all over.
And then I also have clients that I do online. Some are in New Jersey, some are in Nashville. So I'm
Like
literally,
one-on-one online.
yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
How are these people finding you who aren't from around here? Just Google search?
I have a big presence in the community and I
Uh-huh.
have a big mouth. I have a big
Well,
mouth.
you have a very big personality. I prefer to say it that way. You are just, I mean, when people talk to me about Parkinson's, anybody, well, yeah, I know Betsy. You know Betsy, right? I mean, it's Betsy. So,
Well, and it's in my heart and I don't want to get choked up over it, but my mission is to bring these people hope, regardless of where they are in their Parkinson's journey. My heart is with every single one of them to help them through navigating this disease, which has no cure,
yeah.
to help them with their mind, body, and spirit through these classes. I know every single one of them personally, and they call me, they email me, they refer friends to me. I have people in Buffalo, I have people in Wilmington, I have people in New Jersey, I have people in Michigan. It's in my heart. It's in my heart. And my mother, when she was living, she never missed a single in-person class of mine. She would have somebody drive her there. And then when the world shut down and I did Zoom classes, she didn't miss a single Zoom class. So
Oh,
she was our Rocksteady boxing mascot.
uh-huh. Yeah. And she didn't even have Parkinson's. She just did it
No,
for,
no, yeah.
yeah.
My dad had polio, but he wasn't alive when I got into Parkinson's support, and he would have loved this. He would have absolutely loved this.
Wow.
He would have come to all the classes and he
Mhm.
would have known every single person. My mother used to sit in the back of the room and do uppercuts and hooks. And she and I would go to Starbucks every Sunday. I would be developing my routines for the week and she would be practicing with me.
Oh, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
you that had to have helped her just in
Yes.
her aging. So
Yes, it did.
what differences have you seen in the people you've worked with? Physically, emotionally, psychologically?
Um, COVID did a number on people. COVID really did a number on people. I've seen a lot of decline in the population. We've had a number of deaths since COVID, and people have really declined. And one of my goals is to keep people moving, whether you're 40 years old or like Henry, almost 80, to keep them moving every single day. I don't care what they're doing, get off the couch and move. You know, I have a guy, I go to his house and we do laps around the house. Get off that couch and keep moving. You know, I like to say that Parkinson's doesn't have me, I have Parkinson's. You know, because they have control over how they're going to handle this disease.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we call it the snowflake disease because just like a snowflake, no two snowflakes look the same. Nobody's Parkinson's symptoms are the same.
Yeah.
And I've had a number of people decline cognitively. That's the worst part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can take the Parkinson's part, but the dementia that comes with Parkinson's sometimes, not always.
Not always. Mm-hmm.
But the Lewy body dementia, I have some people with MSA. I have somebody with PSP. I have somebody with dementias that's now in memory care.
Mm-hmm. But
But
Rocksteady boxing can help the cognition as well, right? I mean, it
well, I
to a
do. We
certain
have
extent.
cognitive drills in
Yeah.
my classes. We focus on, it's just not boxing.
Mm-hmm.
We do agility, we do balance, we do strength training, we do cognitive drills, and we have a community. It's a big family. It is a big family. I get,
Mm-hmm.
my day doesn't end with my last client because I'm getting emails, I'm getting texts. I do a Zoom class on Saturdays. I get over 20 people, and this has been going on for years.
Mm-hmm.
The world has opened up, but these people continue coming to these Zoom classes.
Mm-hmm. Do those people
And
who Zoom in with you not have access to something local, or do they just choose not to go out? And what do you?
some of them have declined.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have no interest in going in person anymore.
Uh-huh.
How easy is it to roll out of bed, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, and jump online with me?
Yeah.
And we always talk at the beginning, we always talk about 15 minutes, and then we work out for about an hour and 15 minutes. But I also teach in person at Rocksteady Boxing Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
So I teach several classes over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really literally all over the place.
Yeah.
And I also work for an affiliate in Nashville, Tennessee. So some of my clients are from Nashville. I teach Zoom classes to the people in Nashville. And then usually about once a month, I try to get to Nashville.
And isn't that where the headquarters is for Rocksteady, or no?
No, the headquarters is in Indianapolis.
Oh, Indianapolis. Oh, okay. Okay.
And anybody can do my classes.
Yeah.
So it's for all levels. If you want to do it standing up, that's fine. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to do the whole thing sitting down, that's fine as well. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to mix it up, that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody is welcome. And I make sure that everybody is successful when they leave my class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because anybody can.
Yeah. And
you-
this is in my heart. I don't, I
can
can't
feel it.
describe what it's like.
Yeah. Well, I think anyone who hears you talking, we can tell it is your passion. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I've received some of your emails, and I know all the education that you share with people goes even
Yeah.
beyond the exercise. You teach nutrition
Yeah.
and whatever else,
Yeah.
lots.
Yeah, it's very important to me. I send out this weekly email that has my recordings. I record everything I do, but I also want to educate. Every week, I try to find something new. This past week, it was about digestion. And I thought it was appropriate because we had just come through Thanksgiving.
Yes. I
And
listened to those. They were good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the week before, one of the things that happens with people with Parkinson's is they have swallowing issues.
Mhm.
So a couple weeks ago, I talked about swallowing and Botox treatment, which some people have.
Mhm.
With Parkinson's, they have trouble swallowing and they get Botox treatment.
Mhm.
So somebody came up to me the other day and said, "So were you still coaching?" And I wanted to say to her, there's so much more to this than coaching.
Yeah.
I eat, sleep, and breathe these people, and they're my family. And recently, Henry can't come to my classes anymore. It's too difficult for him to come. He's now in assisted living, where he used to be in independent living over at Heritage Green.
Mhm.
So what we have done is we've moved the boxing bag down to the assisted living facility because he is so determined to
Mhm.
keep moving. Now, his body is shutting down. He was diagnosed in 1996, and he's lost his vision, which has nothing to do with Parkinson's, but he woke up one morning and he was blind. But this has been ongoing. It has nothing to do with Parkinson's. But he would have someone wheel him up in his wheelchair and come to my classes. But now, because of the weather and just coming from one building to another, he can't get there, but he wants to work out every day.
Mhm.
We had
Right.
a big event for him in 2022 where we took him out on a golf course because he promised his wife before she passed away that he would get back out on the golf course. So we had one of the co-founders of Rocksteady Boxing actually flew in from Indianapolis, and she was Henry's caddy on the golf course.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. And Henry was,
Wow.
just
I
made him
can just
like,
imagine the beaming face he had.
oh God, he
Oh,
was so happy. Yeah. They're an amazing group of people. Amazing group. They're special. They're special. Maybe because they're connected by this disease. Maybe they live harder and stronger because they know there's no cure, and they're on a mission not to let this disease get them.
yeah. But unfortunately, I have seen my share of those people with Parkinson's who just they give up. They get the
Yeah.
diagnosis and they just they don't have it in them to fight, and that's hard.
Then they should call me.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'll go to their house.
Ah,
I will go to their
that
house.
is-
I go to High Point, I go to Greensboro, I go all over the place to these people's homes
yeah.
that can't get to or don't want to go in
Mhm.
person anymore.
Yeah.
People are afraid, I think, a little bit to go in person, and it's comfortable to be
Sure.
on Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. You still kind of
So
have that community, and yet
yes,
you're apart. So
yes. As a matter of fact, I was thinking, how could I do a Secret Santa this year with all my Zoom folks? I'm trying to figure it out, but
that's
I do a lot of education. Recently, I contacted the Parkinson's Foundation to get these acute in care packages.
the ones with they go in the hospital, they have that.
Yes. I sent them to every single one of my folks. And then I made sure that all my Zoom people had them, all my in-person people had them. Anybody that I do on one-on-one, everybody has them. I also got them cards that they put in their wallet so that when they're out in public,
Yep.
they show this card that says, please be patient with me. I have Parkinson's.
I'm not drunk.
I'm not drunk. The other thing I've gotten involved with is this application called Strive PD. It's manufactured by Rune Labs. And what it does, and it's great for clinicians, it would be great for you, Michele, it tracks their Parkinson's journey. It tracks their tremors, their dyskinesia, their strides, their overall workouts, their heart rate, their medication, and it's free. It's free. All they have to do is have an Apple Watch.
Then
And
do they have to enter all that information
no,
down?
it's all menu driven.
Okay. Because I could hear some people say, I don't want to deal with all that.
They don't have to. They don't have to. It's all menu driven. Like if they want to put their medication in there, they get a list of the most commonly prescribed Parkinson's meds, and all they have to do is pick it. And it tracks their tremors so that the doctor can look at it and see when their tremors are highest, when their dyskinesia is highest. But it also functions as an Apple Watch, so it tracks their health as well. Now you can also use it on your iPhone. It doesn't work on an Android, but it works on a regular iPhone, but it won't track your tremors and your dyskinesia.
Right. You need that contact, I would say,
Yeah,
with your
but it's
skin.
free. It's free, and I got a free Apple Watch, and I'm looking for someone to get it.
Nobody wants it.
Well, I think I might have someone that wants it. She had some questions for me, and I'm hoping that she'll take it.
She'll take it. Does it automatically send the results to their doctor, or does it just store it and they can just show it to them? How does that?
There's so they fill out a form and they put my name in it because they're all connected to me. And so they give permission when they fill out the form. Do you want your coach to see this or not? So I'm hoping that they click on yes, and then their doctor can go in. It's all uploaded to the cloud, but they can only their doctor could only see those people that are associated with me.
Okay. Did you somehow coordinate with doctors, or no, you didn't have to do that?
I didn't have to do that. And it's really in the infancy stage. When I was at the Rocksteady Boxing Coaches Conference. Somebody was there, a couple people were there from Rune Labs, and they gave a presentation on this Strive PD. If you go out and look at it, you could download it to your
Yeah.
iPhone right now.
Oh, okay. I don't
Yeah,
have to be
anybody.
affiliated with
No,
anybody, or I could
just you
do it.
just put Pure Energy Greensboro in there. So I
Mhm,
know about it and I get the credit.
mhm.
So if I got 15 people to sign up, I would get another watch. I already have one watch. If I get 15 people, I'll get another watch. If I get 30 people, I'll get another watch.
Gotcha.
So if you have people that want
Yeah.
to get involved in this, they
Okay.
can contact me and I'll connect them with all the information and the person that's handling it.
Okay.
Her name is Brianna Hood from Rune Labs.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll check around. Nice.
Yes.
See, you're on, everything that's happening. You're the one to talk to when something's happening. That's great.
Yeah, but I have to, you have to be careful that you don't come down with compassion fatigue, which happens to people like me.
Mhm.
I went to a session at the conference about how to combat compassion fatigue.
Mhm.
Stop going to funerals. I go to funerals. One of my fighters' husband died. I went to his funeral and he wasn't even my fighter.
Mhm.
I've spoken at funerals and that takes a toll on one. I have someone that's in memory care now that doesn't even know who I am anymore. But I go see him twice a week, even if he doesn't
Yeah.
know who I am.
Mhm.
He and I ran a 5K during the pandemic to raise money for Hamil-Kerr. So, and it was actually on the news.
Yeah, I think I saw that clip. He was a what?
He was a police
Policeman.
officer. Yep.
Mhm.
4-time marathon runner, and now he doesn't
def-
even talk.
Ugh.
But I go twice a week and I love on him and I will be there till the end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I guess you can kind of empathize with the caregivers as well, the care partners, and
Yes. Yes.
their
And I
struggles.
actually lead a care partners support group on Zoom, and
Okay.
we're probably going to start it in person. We're hoping to do a hybrid of Zoom and in person at Jamestown Presbyterian Church,
Mhm.
where caregivers can come in person. And then at the same time, if they're like, I got folks in Wilmington, they could come on Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah.
It's so important for these caregivers to have somewhere to go and
Mhm.
talk about what it's like to be a caregiver.
Yes.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, I was talking to some wives, and they've gone to some in Greensboro, but
Mhm.
they felt that they were just being talked to.
No,
They wanted an environment where they can talk amongst themselves, not get a
yeah,
lecture
no,
about what Parkinson's is. They need that camaraderie. So
yeah,
I
and
agree.
that's what we do. And on a quarterly basis, Hamil-Kerr has these great gatherings. And
Okay.
what we do at the gatherings, and once again, that's at Jamestown Presbyterian Church. The caregivers break off and they go into groups with the facilitator, and they're allowed to say whatever they want. It's
Safe
a safe
space.
space. Then we take the fighters and we do some sort of exercise activity with them, whether it's drumming, we had music therapy, we had art therapy. And then the last gathering we had, which was awesome, we had a pharmacist come and speak. He was awesome. There wasn't a question he could not answer. And people were asking questions, that were really sort of off the wall.
Uh-huh.
But he could answer everything. It was probably the best Hamil-Kerr gathering we ever had.
Wow.
The support groups were great. We had to actually pull people out of the support groups because they just wanted to stay and talk and talk and talk.
Uh-huh.
We wanted them to come see the pharmacist. It
So,
was definitely the best one we had.
and they're still meeting in person now, or?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And I've been on the board, I guess, about 4 or 5 years, and we meet about once a month. And then once a year, we have a huge fundraiser. It's a walk, run, ride. So you can walk, you can run a 3K, a 5K, or 10K. or you can ride a 25-mile or a 50-mile bike ride. And that's where we raise most of our money. 95% of our money goes back to the community.
Nice. Wow.
So
Great.
and Mike and Alicia Pendleton are led by God. It's a faith-driven organization. And Mike will tell me he'll go out for walks at night and talk to God, and God will guide him through this. You know, and that's where his focus is.
Well, this is a great organization. It sounds like they're doing a lot of great work.
Yeah, remember
Wow.
when we had Seb come for that boxing?
Yes.
You were there, right?
Yeah, that
Yes.
was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that again. We're going to do that again. That wasn't a fundraiser. It just was to get these people out in the community, meeting each other. And that's critical for these guys. You know, some of them isolate.
Yeah.
The person I have with PSP, progressive supranuclear palsy, which goes fast. And there's no medication that will help. And whenever I try to call him every few weeks, and he's just so depressed, so depressed. And I have someone with MSA, and she used to come to my Zoom classes, and I used to do one-on-one training with her at home, and she is just shut down. Yeah.
That's the hardest part for me to watch, when people shut down.
Will you teach a Parkinson's Tai Chi over at Spears?
Yes, I'm teaching the Tai Chi at Spears, and I've got a good little group there. It's still
I know
growing.
Claudia takes it.
And they're doing well. You know, it's just a little slower, lower level, working at their pace. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
they love it.
yeah, so I hope to do more of that kind of stuff.